Hey everyone, welcome back to week 19. Yeah, week 19 because it was 18.5 last time. And this segment, we got a lot done just because I got the order in. You know, that was a big thing. I was away and I had the order I was waiting on, so we're just doing filler brick, and now we're able to do a lot. I have done filler brick in the time, you know, between last video and now, but we're not going to talk about that at all. You'll probably see part of it in the background of the video in some segments. But this week we get to focus on, we got those brown parts in, so we can kind of intermix those, see what those look like, if we want to keep the brown, if we want to have more brown, you know, what we want to do with it. And then we also look at the trench again. I didn't get as much done as I would have liked, just because I worked some overtime this week. I did like a 10-hour shift, a 12-hour shift, and 10-hour shift. I know for some people that's like, wow, that's like nothing. For me though, it was quite a bit. It's just more, I don't have time. By the time I get home, I just want to relax. I don't want to build. Because like I was working the other day, I have to stand. If you kind of know how my table works, you know, I got to, you know, most tables, I got to stand to work. And I honestly, you know, after running around, you know, a whole complex all day, I've kind of just been tired. So I was able to get some filler brick done, and then I went ahead and I was like, you know what, I don't want to waste all my time on the filler brick. We'll go ahead and do some other stuff. So I'm going to stop talking, and we're going to jump right into the segment right now. So kicking right off this week, I got in my order. You saw in last week's, you know, kind of update video, I got this order in. This is what it looks like. We'll walk through it too, but it came in, super excited. That should be enough plates between that, and I got some plates over on the other side I was using for something else. That should be enough to cover the whole mock. I want to say like 800 of these. So hopefully that'll help. I think I don't think it's going to be enough between detailing the top and then using it for the blown out sections. I don't think it's going to be enough, but it's going to get us a lot closer. I got some brown parts just in case we wanted to do idea number two or three. Idea 3 for the trenches, so I ordered them in. That way I have them. Also, you'll notice kind of over here, I just have a bunch of random hodgepodge parts. Some dark tan that you can kind of tell what that's for. But I got white, light gray, or dark gray, light tan, white, and then obviously white over here. Just for other stuff I want to build, I have a couple ideas I want to build, just mini mocks, and that way I have the parts to do it while I'm working on Vibroblade Ridge. I can get more content on YouTube and on Instagram. But the kind of nice thing is these also will be used for the blown out sections. Same with the light tan. I think it's all going to mix well. Maybe not the light tan. We'll see. I'll kind of do one with it and without, but I think we're going to stick with the brown and dark tan because it kind of keeps it a little darker. A color scheme change, but it keeps it kind of on that darker level. Or I think if we added in the tan, it'd get a little lost. Or now, like if the whole thing was light tan and then I did dark tan, brown, and light tan in the blown out section, I think that would work. But in this case, since the top's dark gray, I think these two are going to be our best options. Maybe a little bit of dark gray. I'm not sure yet. I don't know if I call this dark gray or dark tan, but I meant to say dark tan. I don't know. It's been a while since I've recorded kind of a video, having the weekend off and not having stuff to do the other week, so I'm kind of losing it. But this is the order. Came in. I'll actually give you a look at these. I got these cool parts. If anyone can guess actually what these parts, I'm working on a mini mock. If you can guess what these parts are for, I'll go ahead and give you a shout out. You just gotta give me the planet. Like I said, I don't think it's gonna be anything that we've seen necessarily. I'm not sure yet, but if you can tell me what planet I bought these for. I got a lot of other white pieces, so I don't know if you can guess. You know, I got 3 ideas. Well, there's really 3 options I can think of for you to guess for. I'm not going to tell you, but go ahead. Whoever can guess what this is first, I'll try to keep in the comments. I'll give them a shout out in my next Vibroblade Ridge segment. But otherwise, guys, let's actually move on to the next part of the video. Now that we got the parts in, I went ahead and I opened up one of the bags. I pulled out all the brown 1x2s. And I got around 100, 200, I want to say. So we're going to go ahead, we're going to mix some in here. I don't think it's going to be so much half and half. I want to say it's probably more going to be like 70, 30, 70% dark tan, 30%, you know, brown, just to add a little bit of color in there, but not to overdo it. I might add some in here. Either what I'll do is I'll put a little bit in here and see what you all think, or I'm not going to, or I'll put some in here. Or what I'll do is I just won't put some in here. I'll put some in here and kind of let you guys think it out, or I'll just do it in these two, and if you like it's you know, we'll go ahead and kind of try it here. I'm not sure yet, just because I'm not sure how it's going to look. I got to get it and build it. But without further ado, really, we're just going to go ahead and try to turn these two, and maybe that one, kind of at least get these two, see what these two look like, or one. That way it's like, okay, it's looking good, let's continue, or no, this is looking bad, we'll just go back to all the tan. But otherwise, we're going to go ahead, we're going to do that, and then we may jump into kind of over there a little bit. But let's focus on here right now, because this is more of the what I want to focus on this segment. So without further ado, I'm going to get building. So I went ahead and I did 2, 3, and I kind of did some over there. I didn't get around to these two just because I want to kind of get this base plate out of here. You can kind of see where the line is. It divides up. That way I just have easier access to these two kind of areas. But I did these, really these 3, well I guess I lied, these 4. There's one here I kind of did, it's just buried with all the other 1x2s. I really haven't cleaned up, should. But I was able to get some of the brown in there, and I actually think it looks really good, and I like it to the point where I think I'm also gonna do, you know how we're looking at over here, we have this kind of texture going. I think I'm gonna add in some brown, so then it kind of just all flows together, you know, blown out and non-blown out, just because it does seem like such a drastic change. You know, when I do the brown over here, if I just do the brown in the blown out area, the little foxhole, and then with this textured stuff around it, it looks good, I might leave it. But I'm thinking I'm going to keep the brown. Let me know what you all think in the comments down below. Keep the brown, and should I use it all over or just in the foxholes? Let me know that. That's really important, because I will have to order a lot more of these. What's probably going to have to happen is I'm going to have to place an order for a whole bunch more of these, whole bunch more of these, and then some other random parts. As you'll see, we'll get to the trenches later on, and I found out that since I didn't plan it in advance before I bought, I may have to do another order. But you know, that's all what it is. You know, you buy what you think you need, you build, you realize you need more, or you don't, you know what I mean? So it's just the fact of building. But pardon me. But what I really like is that, you know, we're actually moving forward. It's not another segment where we're just doing filler brick, or we're just kind of poking around, you know, whatever, kind of trying to buy time, like messing with the clones and the weapons. But we're actually getting some building done. And by redoing, you know, these, I pulled out all of these dark tan pieces. So I mean, by just only doing the 4 right now, I've been able to save a whole bunch more. Now granted, I used my short supply of these, but it just kind of goes to show you that, you know, by using multiple parts, you don't have to buy as many or whatever. So I think what's going to happen is, unless you guys think otherwise, we're going to go ahead, we're going to do everything, texture it with dark tan and brown. We're going to obviously keep in the foxholes, because it looks good. I'm going to keep this one. Originally, I wasn't going to keep it so kind of square, but I thought if I kind of keep that one square and make it a point to really flesh out the other ones, I think I'll be safe, which is kind of what I had in mind when I went ahead and started building them. It's like right here, you kind of see I've left larger areas out. I've kind of tried to map it out a little bit. I got another one over here. Here, looking good. So, we're not going to be able to get through them all just because I don't have enough dark tan to say, let's sit down and do them all. With luck, we can kind of get, without a doubt, this base plate's pretty much done. So what I might do is I might go ahead, finish off the last few ones. I'm not sure. I am working on other areas, which we're actually going to go visit here in a second. But by working on more than one area, because what I found out is I'd rather wait, keep a couple parts left over, get more in, and then continue to build, and use all the parts for this specific design, and then be like, oh crap, now I gotta wait, and I gotta try to remember what I did, where I can kind of hold out, I can kind of slowly keep doing it. So we may or may not come back and do more of this. I'm not sure, but I definitely wanted to show where we got in this segment, because I think it's a huge step forward, just knowing that we are gonna want some brown in here. But let's keep moving on. Let's move on to the next part of the video. So here we have the back 2 base plates. These are great examples of why I'm building the
mock in base plate sections because I had this rotated 180 degrees so I can build the trench here, and then I can just flip the whole base plate around, you know, corner, turn, and they'll be right up there. But we're going right along, and I've kind of mapped it out. I have these in here because we are going to go with this design, and it turns out it'll end up being 3 high, well, 2 bricks high total, but 3 kind of studs. When you turn the plate on its side, it ends up being 1 plate and another brick. So kind of see here what I'm doing, just these along the back. I use a 2x, dropped a piece down there, the 2x6, put on the end, and I just build up. But what I'm gonna have to do is, I don't have it on this part, kind of see here how I'm gonna have the 2x6, and then we're gonna have a 1 by whatever. Just using 2x6s because that's what I've been ordering in to level off this whole thing. Something I'd like to do in this segment, which I don't know if we'll get to, is map out kind of where those cannons are going to go. If not, for sure, that'll be next week because I should have enough dark tan. The problem is I had to redo half this base plate because, as you know, I cut this base plate in half, and I had the one trench height over here and then this trench height over here. So I had to go back through, I had to tear up all the work I'd done, and I finally found kind of a building technique I like, a pattern I liked, using the 2x6 plates. So when I was working on those over there, so I was able to, when I tore it up, I was able to remimic what I needed to do. It's just, I got to redo what I did, because this whole thing was, if you remember last time, this whole thing was plated. So I pretty much a whole cup of 2x6s. I did tear it all up. I even had to pull some of these back since these are actually 2x6 bricks. I had to tear some back up and kind of redo it. But we're getting there. It's looking great. Hopefully, kind of by the end of the segment, either we'll get the kind of more done with the blown out sections of foxholes, or I'm going to try to just get this base plate done. The trench, in the sense of I want to get like this all the way across. Now we're not going to be able to get like that bottom row, I don't think. I kind of got to decide and see, do I need to put dark tan on there, or can I just go ahead and use like a dark gray or a, you know, kind of a darker color, you know, not like a bright yellow or a bright orange, you know, or bright red, but, you know, something that brings it out by 1 plate, but I can put these slopes on it, which is another thing, since I kind of went ahead and decided on this design just after I placed my order. I don't think I ordered in enough. I don't even know if I ordered in this this part, so that could be a huge thing. I haven't used a lot of them, really. I used some of them over at the edge of the cliff, as we know, but I haven't really used them in bulk. I've used, you know, a couple here and there in the foxholes, but these are going to be really where I use them, and I think it's going to look great if I kind of just stick this on there. You know, you're looking at it. I'm going to have 1 on the back and 1 on the front. That way, kind of when you look down, I don't have, I thought I had another one. Oh, I did. Yeah. So kind of, I'm going to set you guys down really quick, just so you can kind of get an idea of what this is hopefully kind of going to look like. It's bending. Hang on. Okay. There we go. Blast. Knocked a part down in there. There it is, yeah. But, so when you kind of look down, it's going to look something like this. So I think it's looking good. I don't think, you know, with what I have in my kind of building style, I know I'm not as advanced as other builders out there. I think it's really good. Honestly, forgot not knowing how I wanted to do this a couple weeks ago to, you know, prototyping those several ideas to saying this is what we're going to go with. I think it looks great. But, so hopefully I will kind of get this whole trench kind of up to this level to where, you know, we got the base, or the plates ran all the way across, and all we got to do is just do the last one underneath. I thought about maybe just not even using the tile, just use the plate down there, just go ahead and just put the studs or the slopes along there. So I might do that too. I'm not sure yet. But let's, I guess, I'm just gonna stop talking, and we're gonna see what kind of I end up doing. I'll see you in a couple hours. So what I went ahead and did is I kind of completed one whole stretch of the trench. Now obviously once we get bricks and stuff up here, it's going to look a little different, or I get it all plated all the way to the end, it's going to look a little different. But this is generally what it's going to be, you know, if looking down the trench. I think it looks pretty good. I tried to randomize it as much as I could going down. I still got to do the bottom layer, which you're probably like, I should have done the top layer first. But I only have that many dark tan slopes left, and in case I need them for more foxholes and blown out sections, I don't want to use them all, and I don't want to build this and be like, oh, now I need more for the foxholes if I transition over and peel them off. So either within this, probably not this week, but maybe next week, I'm gonna go ahead and place an order, just because I got another announcement I gotta be making up here later this week. But so I'll try to order it this week, late this week, maybe early next week, so it'll be here within a few weeks, and we can kind of see, with luck, we'll get through for the cannons. I know we want to definitely sit that down and some other stuff, but that's not the point of this little bit. I don't want to get rambling into that just yet. But here we have the trench, like I was saying. It's looking good, looking great. I love the height, especially for the droid. And then when you get, you know, you'll have like another plate just about either level with right here, or it'll be, you know, just above it, covering it. I'm trying to think of the words to say. I'm completely losing my mind. But so that's the trench part. It's looking great, looking fantastic. So let's go ahead and end out the video, guys. So that was week 19, everybody. Sorry, I just gotta make sure my iPad doesn't turn off. I got something on there. But I think we had a lot done, especially kind of for one of those, you know, not doing anything or not doing a lot. I think we got a lot done for sure. Now, I do want you guys to let me know down in the comments about the brown. I'm going to keep it in the foxholes for sure, but I almost think since they're in there, we got to have it spread out. So if you kind of remember, I was talking about to add the texturing on top with 1x2s and a couple other size parts, if I should do that with brown. I think that's what I want to do, but let me know what you guys think, because you know, I always want to get your input, so comment that down below. Also, let me know what you think of the trench. I got that done. I didn't get as... well, I guess I got half of it done. I guess we can say, like, we'll go with 40% of it done, just because I got to do a whole nother base plate, and then I also got to do the bottom level, and then I got to put the top over it. So we'll say about 40%, just because I did do one whole base plate length. It's looking great. I love it. You know, I'm glad we could get to it. But next week, the big push is to get, well, yeah, next week, yes. Because I'm going to come back to kind of about the week thing. Next week, we're going to push to get the last of the filler brick in, and that way we can start kind of figuring out how far down we want the cannons to sit. I think they're only going to sit down maybe a brick or so, you know, that way there's a height change, but it's not as deep as the trench, and it's still kind of level with the rest of the mock and not crazy. Because also, too, I don't know how much space it's going to take up, so I don't know if I'm going to do just where the cannon sits, or if I'm going to have some areas around it that are still, you know, a larger area, so the cannon around it's going to be all lower, or if it's just going to be the cannon. It kind of comes down to what it looks like when I build it, how much space do I have, and all that. If not, I may not even do the drop down. I may just have the feet maybe drop down, so there's 4 little areas. I'm not sure yet. I don't know. I got to get the filler brick in, and I got to plate it all and do that. Which was a big thing also this week, kind of to go back to this week. It was, I had to redo pretty much the entire blast base plate I did, at least the top 3 layers, just so we can get that trench in smoothly. Which I think looks good, so yeah. But something I do want to talk about or update you guys on, I will do a CoolRidge update video probably later in the week, probably Wednesday, Thursday, maybe even Tuesday. I'm thinking maybe Tuesday, because I think I'm going to get out of school, summer school, a little early. But sorry, my foot itches. But I have a trip coming up from July to August, like the last week in July and the first week in August. For those of you who haven't looked at a calendar, it's like the first half of the week's July, the second half of the week's August. So I'm going to be gone that weekend. It's going to be Sunday to Sunday. Or no, Friday to Sunday. So I will be missing 2 weeks of Vibroblade Ridge. I want to say, so that means there'll be one next week, but the 27th, I want to say, I'm leaving, 26th or 27th. I'm not 100% sure, but that time frame around there.
So what that means is there will be no Vibroblade Ridge for 2 weeks and no videos for a week. I'm trying to do, keep the mini mocks rolling out, which I think are doing great, but that's just a fact. I'm going to be gone. I'm going to talk about that more in the update video. Without further ado, guys, I don't want to take up any more of your time. Please rate, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in my next video.